So, hello everyone, this better be Megiddo, whatever it's pronounced now. God damn it, give me the freaking explosions of shit. I'm just like, god damn it, it's like, why is nothing happening? This episode here, of course, Slime, episode 34 in total. It better deliver, guys. It better deliver. I always say it every time, right? I wanna love Slime, right? I'm a big Slime fan. You know, I really love season 1. I really liked it, right? I really liked season 1 until roughly probably the orc part, right? Was not a big fan of the kids. That I have probably say with the college, not what they call it, the kids when he's like in school. Yeah, that wasn't that fun. It was pretty okay. But then, as I said last week, before I even saw last episode, I was like, you know, but Slime has some production issues, right? It has so much recap. It's so much like episode 0. It's too many, like, you know, 24.5, right? It's always a recap and so on. It's just too much of that. And then last episode was just dreadful, right? It was like, it had some good parts, but the beginning was just recap. Let's just recap. The beginning was just like, oh my god. It's just, as it started with, just showing, okay, here is the pig-tailed, pink-haired dragon girl backstory. All that can be. But, you know, they have her backstory. Exactly the same backstory as they had episode before, right? And it was nothing new with it. They didn't like, I don't know, they didn't like add some commentary on it. They didn't like discuss it differently. It was the exact same, like 2-3 minutes, you know, the exact same backstory, just moved this episode, right? That was just really disappointing. And then after that, it was, you know, more recap, right? You could have skipped the first 10 minutes last week, right? And it would have been the episode. It really would have been. I'm gonna say it last review too, but I said here again that this episode, yeah, I feel it has to deliver. Right? It has been 3 episodes now that has been very, very slow, and they've been very much. I think the whole Shion, that was Shion best girl, right? But the whole Shion thing was like, I said that's a 2, right? But like it's a weird thing, like not having her death as a cliffhanger, and instead having it in the same episode, and you can save her. So people prefer that, but I'm like, how? You must be having a cliffhanger. They have to be afraid of her being dead, and to think about for a week, and then you get the resolution. Instead, that was in the middle. That was weird, you know. It was weird pacing, right? Weird pacing, and then of course a lot of recaps. So anyway, here we are. This episode, last episode was called like Megiddo. You know, it's like some kind of holy war kind of thing, right? It's better be some stuff happen now, and I really see that. And just to point out before watching it again. I'm not some guy that I need to be like, you know, I need to be action, you know. I don't need that, right? I mean, for example, my last reaction, Black Clover, was of, last day, was of Non-Yon Biar, right? And I was like crying. I was like, oh god, I come back! You know, it's just such a good episode. That episode was amazing. I was like getting a goosebump seeing Renge being all happy. And today I could say goodbye. That was amazing, right? So I don't need to watch an anime, and it needs to be, you know, action, it needs to be this, you know, fights or whatever, right? I don't need it for a second, right? I can watch just slice of life, non-yon Biari animes all day long, right? But something has to happen, right? I can't stand this, like, you know, recap after recap, right? So it's all about that. And I mean, for example, many of the Slime movies are just like funny fan service, let's go to the beach, you know, the onsen kind of, you know, fan service episodes, right? And they are hilarious, right? They're really good, yeah. So if they did that, I would still enjoy the episode, right? So I don't need it to be like, it needs to be, you know, some fight, but I need it to be something, right? So like if last episode was like a fan service episode, that would still be probably enjoyable, right? You know what I mean? But but not really. But anyway, let's start watching it. Yeah, right over 3, 2, 1, and go. That was loud, but yeah, no, but it really needs to be something happening. We need something to like. And again, it doesn't have. I mean, of course, in this context here, it's gonna be a fight, right? In this context here, we're gonna be a fight. But like I said, there, it could have been if last episode was like a fan service episode, right? Instead of the recap, it would be a good episode. But as you know, yeah, 10-minute recap was like, come on, man, 10-minute recap. The last ending was good though, when they were kind of talking about the strategy and who's gonna fight this character and who's gonna, you know, fight the other what do you call it? Like the other isekai antagonist, I guess. instead of protagonist, yeah, the isekai antagonist, right, and so on. That was fun, the last minutes, right? But anyway, here we are. We see some army guys, some ninjas, Onore ninjas. It's a guy that saw earlier, kind of commander guy. Whatever his name is, but yeah, like whatever. Evil human commander guy. And the king's just sleeping. he's an old man, an evil old man, you know how that is. You'll be food. Soiken and Soma time. Here we go. Yeah. Chogiku and Orimaru. Do 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 do. Fjord! Oh my god. See the opening at least. No, but you're gonna save, of course. You're gonna save the best girl. But I mean, I said that last time though when we saw it. Last Tuesday when we saw Dead Right, I was like, well, I mean, it's Slime, right? Slime is like a very feel-good anime. He probably can't save them. You know, I just feel like Slime doesn't really kill off characters, for real, right? It's like, oh, whatever, you can probably save them. I keep wondering if we're ever gonna see that, that pink-haired dragon girl, though. We had her flashback twice now, right? Which is a little bit like, but we had her flashback twice, and she hasn't been in the anime at all. We know she has some war on the side, right? But no, but this episode has to have some action episode. Action or fan service. I take either way of it, but it would fit with a good action episode, right? With some holy stuff happening. But yeah, it's really strange that it just... That episode was just weird. It was just weird. The opening's pretty good. I mean, I think all the slime openings are good, yeah. Ends are pretty good too, but these openings are pretty lit, man. The ending is like the opening and the ending is the only time you see the dragon girl. It's the only time you see that pig there, the sad backstory dragon girl. Yeah, Megiddo. Here we go. Finally, there's better piece of freaking Megiddo. 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 Better piece of Megiddo. Come on, look at him. Megiddo time. Look at his eyes. He wants a Megiddo. He's gonna crush them all. He's gonna solo them all, right? Benimaru got his own front line. Can Rimaru still eat them if you just kiss them all? I mean, it's like, can he, I don't know, can he still eat them if he's like, they're all dead? I guess the souls are floating around somewhere so he can like just consume it or something. Yeah, okay, so Benimaru just wins because, yeah, Benimaru is badass. So that was like easy for him. There wasn't even like a fight for him. Okay, that was like too easy. Oh no, yeah, that was like too easy. Why did you say that got to find the isekai antagonist? Here we go, of course. Gabiru-sama! The Gabiru-sama! I mean, I got some... It's pretty cute that they're all sending down their fire breaths. Yeah. I am Gabiru! Of course, it's Kazuma. All you can hear is Kazuma. Here we go. Gabiru-sama! See, now the animation looks a lot better. That's the best animation they have in the fight, definitely. The ninja team. Oh, nice. Nice touch to it. Yeah, they were too weak, so it was too easy for them. Yeah, it was way too easy for them when his ninja team. It feels like one of them could have won every fight. It feels like Gabriel himself could have won that fight. If they really are strong, all these characters, I don't know why they sent all of them to these guys, right? Because it feels like Benimaru is only like a second himself. He could probably run over to the other place immediately anyway. But maybe they're gonna come and support them, right? Because this is like too easy for Benimaru and so on. Here we go. But this is probably gonna be the real fight, right? So we're gonna see the old man. You're gonna see Edo standing here with revenge here. At least see this anime. No spoilers. At least this anime. Oh, come on. I feel Naruto is like, it's so old now. It's like 10 years ago, man. How long can that be? Like, I don't know when it was in manga. 15 years ago? I don't know, but here we go though. Goblin guy. Okay, so they're gonna fight him, of course. Yeah, Jesus is alive, man. But now, of course, not inside the barriers. Now they're stronger. First we have the classic Orc Wolf Riders, or goblins I mean, but come on, Orc Wolf Riders! All the thing about is what we walk into the Here we go, yeah. I wanna see him own though. Yes! Yes! Exactly, Yosh! An Orc King then. Oh, that was nice. That was nice when he's like, when he's lying down. He's like, shut. But yeah, these guys are like, whatever, they're dying. Yeah, these guys are the worst teammates ever. They're like hilarious. Those guys are dying over there. Should we help them? I don't know. It's kind of funny. Yeah, like these guys are freaking man. They are not the best teammates. He's laughing at it. Oh, they died. Oh, he's gonna fight Orc King, man. What is it? What is the title now? Orc Commander? Oh, whatever. What is it now? Orc General? I mean, I honestly don't remember. I don't remember exactly his title now because he kept, you know, he kept the upgrade, whatever he is now. Orc Demon Lord. No, but he's something like Orc something, right? Orc. What is Gel's current rank now? Orc Commander? Orc General? I honestly don't remember. It could be anything. I feel it could be like anything. It could be anything. Orc King, Orc Commander, Orc Warlord, I guess. It could be something like that. I think it's something War of the Hordes, you know, something like that, right? But no one is fighting the girl yet, with her power station. She's sleeping somewhere, so we haven't seen anyone. Maybe yeah, no, because the other girls are doing the barrier. So there's no like woman to fight her, right? No, there's no one to. Maybe Datta to fight, maybe. So he has some kind of weird cutting power, I guess. Yeah, I'm getting bored by you, boy. They feel pretty weak compared to Rimmer, of course, these isekai antagonists. Spatial attributes. Okay, so what is the actual power? Can you tell me exactly how it works? I mean, did like teleport and spatial appearance? Like, I mean, sure, like a teleporting swordsman is pretty tough, but we don't. Okay, so the sword has some runes too. Okay, maybe some. I guess it's like a magical sword too then. Oh, okay, so it turns a lot of edges even. Come on, he's gonna do the Sebu Sakura. It's gonna be, come on. The old man, exactly. Come on, it's easy. He's gonna just do the Ichigo thing. Come on. It's like, come on, it's anime 101, man. It's gonna be like, come on, man. He's just gonna easily deflect all of them. So is his sword gone now then? That is really bad. He has no sword anymore. He seems to be have the hilt now. Can he maybe make it grow out again? This is like a really bad sword ability. I shoot it once, and then it's like, that seems to be a very one trick pony ability. I can shoot my sword at you once. And maybe it can grow out or something, but it seems bad strategy. Oh, here we go. Okay, so now it's like, okay, yeah, it grew out again. But this is spatial? It feels more like he's slowing down time or something. I don't know how his power works, but it feels more like he's slowing down time or something when he's attacking him. Yeah, like he has a super eye, right? Yeah. If it's more like he's the power of like super speed or something. Or, you know, like super agility, yeah, like awareness or something. This is like a bad power though, if you only see very fast. Ooh, but then this is nicely done, I know. This feels like a really bad power. He's just like, I can see everything perfectly. Oh, you're too slow, so that was... Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I can see basically the future. Yeah, but he's too slow to avoid it. That's like a really bad power. It's like, man, he's getting owned. He grabs the head! Man! Yeah, like you can live through me defeating you. Yeah, you can reflect upon your. You can feel the pain of a longer distance. It's actually really reminds me of Bleach when he's like, oh, you can feel this me stabbing you for like 3 days, right? Yeah. But that power is really bad, I would say. Oh, I can just see what's gonna. It's basically like future sight, but you don't have the body to avoid stuff, right? But he lacks the. You know, he lacks like this actual agility to avoid, right? This is weird. Yeah, he's like, okay, but it's like this is weird to come. I don't know why they would listen to this guy. Now he's like, yeah, drop your armor, bro. It's like, no. Oh, it's Berserker. I guess he's gonna punch harder and harder, I guess. Something like, you know, like in 7 Seas maybe. Keep punching. The more he punches, he gets power. I feel like he's gonna have some, like, every time he punches, he punches faster, or his damage increases per punch or something. It's probably something like, yeah, every attack makes more damage or whatever. Ooh. And if it's like a typical Berserker thing, his defense is probably lower too when he's Berserker, right? So. Yeah, I got this Orc Wrath, baby. Ooh. No one man, like, what did you kill this guy yet? I killed the other guy earlier. It's a slow orc, man. Oh. I think got the head though. Yeah. Now I released Megiddo. I think got this thing. It was hilarious. Yeah, I think got this thing going on. Is it rotting though? So I don't know if he can actually escape this. Yeah, what's the girl doing? Okay, what's she doing? I guess she's sleeping. She's like, it's a big war, and she's like, whatever. Oh, she's like, oh, you're all dead? Huh. It's so noisy outside! Man, this woman is pretty useless. Yeah. Oh, you all died out there? Oh, I was like reading some book or whatever. Yeah, I was like, oh. Well, maybe you can like consume her power somehow? I guess so. But how would this... I don't know. What power does he have to make her stronger though? Okay, so he kills her, but... and then he's like, oh, what a loser. But how does this make him stronger? Maybe it makes him powerful if he can like consume his defeated people or something? XP points? How does that... Maybe the rot goes away if he... Well, you can kill... Yeah, I guess you can kill her and get her power, I guess, something like that, but... Well, yeah, friendly fire there. But how's her powers to make him stronger, though? Wasn't her power like a kind of control thing? Kinda, you know? It's kind of taunting, right? How does it... I don't know, yeah, how does it... Well, actually, Survivor, I guess you could do. He's still probably going to defeat easily. I feel he's just like, I am so powerful now! They're probably going to take him down anyway, easily, right? Yeah, they're like, yeah, whatever, just kill him. I feel he's going to get easily defeated anyway. He's like standing here being all like, yeah, I am the best! And they're like, no, I can solo him. Yeah. So yeah, I feel he's like, whatever, I can take him out. It's going to be good. It's gonna be like, I can heal myself, you know, I get healing power now, so you can take more damage. Nice, you can take, yes, you can just beat him more, right? It's like, you should have taken the healing power, and I can beat you a few more times, so... Exactly, so then we heal... Yeah, so it's just a bad power to have, right? Because you die slower. He's gonna be like, oh, I can rot you and you're gonna die in a slower pace, right? So, exactly. It felt like when he said that, like, I can heal faster now! I was like, okay, that sounds like a bad power to have against these guys. But yeah. This episode is like night. These episodes released night and day compared to what we had earlier, right? Compared to the 3-4 weeks from now. This episode is like, yeah, this is like so different than we had earlier. And it looks really bloody, yeah. A lot of tomato juice. Guess he will chop it off, maybe. Ooh, that's a nice. Yeah, we're good. Well, maybe someone saved them. Something green. Okay, an old man comes and saves him. It's a random old man. Yeah, I said earlier, but he's strong enough to fight them? Maybe. Orc Lord is this title. Yeah, I thought what's his title again? Orc Lord, okay. Orc Lord. Yeah, you could have been Orc Lord, of course. Should not spend this time letting him. But so this guy's actually powerful then. Yeah. Trap. Yeah, I mean, these two old men, right? Yeah, good, like, yes! Oh, yeah, it's like, yeah, yes, right! Old guy, I knew your tricks! See, look like, oh, yes, old man, see? Now it's kind of like, I see! It's like kind of like, old war experience, guys. Oh, yes, I can understand your trickery, old man. But yeah, of course. They're both like, that's right, I know my old, But this guy seems to be somewhat powerful then. Surprisingly powerful old man here. But they should hurry up and just defeat this human though. Yeah, I mean, because they were like, kinda, oh, don't, yeah, we're gonna punch him a bit more. Most likely not. More not. Oh, it read itself with all its bobs. But Rimuru-sama can eat it set, so Rimuru-sama can take care of that. Yeah, that guy was, his whole body was filled of, yeah. But don't worry, Rimuru-sama is like, he's fine. So yeah, they move the barrier, the country girls are ready to barrier up again. They have her husbands there, I guess, her double husbands, yeah, weird thing. To make a new barrier, so like barrier on a barrier, you know, and a new barrier, so, you know, more barriers. Så nu Rimuru-sama kan fight! Finns det bakom this episode though? Unless if it's ever on in a minute here. Shion! I'm just gonna like attack the whole camp here. Well, maybe he will defeat them all in 1 minute. It's consume them all. Like it's a massive blob. But he just kill. Yeah, they're like, I don't know. He's trust this guy, but I don't know why this old man is so friendly to him. It's almost weird. You got a new skill. I guess you killed that girl or something. I don't know, old man might betray him here though, take his powers. Exactly. I feel the old man should take his powers. Exactly, I feel the old man, exactly. The old man, I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. That old man was definitely too tricky, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. It's skipping over the ending clearly. Oh, so this guy got all of them, okay. I had done this before. Come on. I do this all the time, man. This is like I do it every week, man. Yeah, okay. Reincarnation session. Yeah, he's like, come on, man. This is the shit I do all the time. But yeah, I mean, the old man definitely felt kind of tricky there. He was like, okay, so I guess he's been going for a while then. He might be I guess Rasen is very old then if he's done this before then. Yeah, okay, interesting. Rasen. Here we go. I've served the kingdom for years, right? Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, like I've served this kingdom for yeah, powerful margin. So how old is this guy then? He needs his clothes though, good. He needs to pick up the yeah, he needs to pick up his, like the classic old man mantle. It can't just be like here we go. Here comes Rimmaru. Well, maybe this young man then might be a strong guy against Rimmaru. Perhaps, but it seems... See. Rimmaru's gonna... Well, yeah. No medic. You can't just send medic, so... Interesting if you finish it off in the last minute. It feels like just like... How much time is left, man? It's like 2 minutes left. No ending. Also, the slime balls coming here everywhere. Here we go. Megiddo. I'm getting goosebumps. I guess they're all gonna get killed by the little slime balls. Bam, 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 and everyone just gets. Like this is super absurdly effective, man. It's like a little doomsday slime ball attack. You thought the slime was the weakest enemy, man. And he used Megiddo, and he destroys them all. This is too systematic now, man. This is like brutal. This is too systematic. Just defeating all of them. Yeah. Okay, that's how it ends, I guess. Next time, Birth of a Demon Lord, yeah. Mao-sama time! But I see the sun went down, I did so... lamp, yeah, sorry, bam. Yeah, the sun went down there when I was recording this thing, or, still recording. But I mean, yeah, the sun is just, was way brighter, I thought it. But anyway, yeah, the last bit, that was some goosebumps in there when Megiddo happened. That was some goosebump ending there. Can I end it in the middle? But maybe the old new young man then might be an enemy, or an enemy, also an enemy. But I mean, he might be a challenge, right? He's like, oh, I've done this before, so he might be collecting. I mean, it is clear that we have several characters from Earth being isekai to this world, right? And he's like, oh, I've been doing this earlier, so he might of course been collecting these powers previously, right? He might be collecting that power previously, and that's what I wanted. That's freaking beautiful, man. That's going for a freaking thumbnail. That's just beautiful. Megiddo, yeah, that's just beautiful. Designer, it's a nice touch to it. Yeah, it's just badass art. But yeah, so let's review it. Of course, this episode is by far the best episode. Do we have to say that? Yeah, this is the best episode in a while. I mean, of course, this episode is a lot better than the previous episodes, which were pretty bad set up, right? Yeah. So here we finally go, right? It's all what we waited for, right? It's finally something's happening, but really much so because of the super slow build-up for 3 episodes. This episode felt like it was quite rewarding, obviously from the meta standpoint, right? That it was very different than the previous 3 episodes. But anyway, yeah, it was a good. I like that. I like the little, how say it, the trickery from the evil old wizard, right? That actually is young now. I like it. Yeah, the inner conflict, right? The humans are pretty evil. He's a betrayed people before, right? he clearly knew about the whole reincarnation stuff like that. So he's like, oh, I can just take the powers. I've done this before. He might be very old, right? He might have a lot of powers. He might even survive this thing, right, and be an actual, a challenge for Rimuru. At least he probably won't die easily. So next episode, him and Rimuru are probably gonna fight, right? That being said, though, I felt it was kind of predictable. Of course, he's gonna like betray him. Yeah. I mean, when we got here, I was like, oh, he's clearly gonna betray him. He's like, oh, you got a new power. How good of you. Yeah, it was way too obvious that the old man knew that he clearly had, killed a girl. He was like, oh, yeah, that's great, man. You survived. Let me help you anyway with healing. So it was pretty obvious that he was like, oh, I want your powers, right? So I'm not surprised at all that he betrayed him. But actually, that's how the old man is quite powerful, because he managed to just like kill him instantly. He was like, oh, kill him, yeah, that's bad. He killed him immediately, even though he had 2 powers or so on. So that was pretty easy for him, though. Otherwise, I mean, some of the fights were almost too easy for him. When he went, yeah, Benimaru was like, oh, you can do it, yeah, I can do it myself. And he's like, oh, whatever, it all insta that. Like, it doesn't matter as much for him, right? It's the same thing, basically with Gabiru. Even if Gabiru wasn't alone, he had this, his dragon got with him, right? It felt like Gabiru could have sorted that. It was just like, oh, I just land and you all die anyway. And the ninjas too, they were like, oh, they were easy. So yeah, the first three is, or what do we call it? I don't know, crystal defense system. That was like whatever, right? That was too easy. The other 2 battles was cool though. I said it's probably more. I don't know if it's slime. If a slime review, but I always think of one battle when I see this kind of engagement, right, with all-seeing eye. So this I won't say classic, because it really isn't the classic part, but anyway. So when I see the kind of scene, I was thinking about Quicksilver in Marvel. So yeah, I assume people know how, of course, Quicksilver is, the fast guy in Marvel comics, right? He's in movies, time slows down, right? He's super fast. So anyway, that's Quicksilver, and there is this classic, but it's like, I would say, somewhat iconic fight in the Siege, though. So it's actually very not, it's like 10 years ago, but still. Anyway, in Marvel then, in the Siege, where Quicksilver then fights a guy that has been fighting some of the youthful, like his to his daughter, he related to his like family and so on. But anyway, he fights this guy then, and this guy has the power. He's like a martial art expert. In Marvel, you have something like Taskmaster, and you have Echo in DC Comics and so on, right? This guy has a similar power. He's like, he can't learn martial art, but he can kind of read martial art perfectly, and he can kind of basically read your brain when you can attack him. He has like quick telepathic abilities. You can't defeat him in martial art, because he's like a super martial artist that can like read everything perfectly what you're gonna do, so he can block everything and so on, right? So anyway, I was thinking about that fight with Quicksilver, because I think it's like a classic fight to the end. Quicksilver is like, oh, so you have the power to read all my abilities, right? Oh, you can read, you can like foretell, I'm doing this thing, I'm gonna punch you in the face, you know what I mean? And of course, Quicksilver's like, I'm punching you. Like, what can you do? Yeah, like, so I love the fight, right? Because it's like, it's one of the worst powers to really have. It's like, oh, I can predict exactly how you are gonna attack me, but I'm really slow. Because of course, that guy in Marvel, he's like a super, basically stronger than human, right? But still actually supposed to be like a mutant human, right? In that physical level. So being able to predict Quicksilver's attacks is pointless, because he's so fast anyway that you can't avoid them. He's like, yeah, you're gonna predict, he keeps like taunting him, you can't, what you gonna do, man? It's kind of that, right? And I felt this fight here, it really reminded me of that. It's like, so you can see I'm gonna attack you, you can see I'm gonna cut you. How does that help, right? I really felt that battle at Quicksilver. Of course, here, this old honorable man, it's a little more of like, I'm just gonna, one-shot him. Yeah, he could, of course, probably done it a lot more, right? And kind of extended that, but that's really how it feels like. I think it was very, very similar to that kind of classic thing. It's like he's spotting him. Oh, he's gonna attack me. And it's like, oh shit, I can't avoid anyway, because I can only see he's gonna attack me. I can like predict attack, but I'm just like, oh shit, he's way faster than me. Even if I'm trying to evade, he's still gonna get me, right? So yeah, I think that's a pretty bad power. Honestly, I think that's one of the weaker powers you can have. Right? It really is, because his power is called all-seeing eye, right? And it is very, very limited to his physical attributes, right? If his physical attribute isn't fast enough, it's pretty pointless. It's kind of like, I guess a spoiler here then, but I guess it would be kind of the same thing like One Piece. People have observation haki, and the actually good example is One Piece. I talked about it earlier in all review, but it's a good example of One Piece. So in One Piece they have observation haki, which is called mantra in the beginning, right? Or in the beginning in Skypiea, and they can predict how it's going to attack you and so on. But just like how they fight them, right? In Skypiea, Luffy and Nordic, how they fight these priest guys with the mantra, so they can predict abilities. It doesn't work because they're too fast, right? Or too unpredictable. Luffy attacks with the bunching, and the other guys are, they are faster and so on, right? And we see Luffy when he fights the sisters at Amazon Lily, same thing, he's too fast in Gear 2, right? So even if they can predict him, they can't avoid it anyway because it's too fast, right? So I think that's like a typical thing, yeah, like the whole observation power ability is, it feels pretty bad. Like, obviously it's very good to have it in One Piece and so on, that you can predict stuff, but it's like, you need to have the physical speed, like Katakuri, you need to have the speed, right, to be able to avoid. If you can't avoid stuff, it's pretty pointless, yeah, like, and in this slime here, this guy, yeah, I think he got the bad ability because he basically just has, fast predictability ability. Like, he doesn't have the physical attributes at all, right? He's very, very limited to his body, so it's a pretty bad power. But anyway, he almost got owned. Yeah, he got owned, and I was surprised, right? Because he was limited to only having that ability. Oh, I can see your attacks. Oh yeah, I'm gonna die now. Yeah, pretty bad power. One of the least power I wanted to have. Unless if you have the, of course, agility to support it. Yeah. It's a pretty bad power. I think it would be better working if you used it more for like, I think it's a different having like a martial art all-seeing eye where you're like, I can predict your ability next to me, right? Versus having someone like, I can predict stuff like a more of a clairvoyance thing where you can predict their behavior in a long-term situation. Because then you can put traps and you can kind of like, he's probably gonna attack me from that choke point. I'm gonna put a trap there. I'm gonna trick them by this thing and so on. Like the old man, yeah. Then I think it makes a lot more sense because then you're like, yes, like physically I can't avoid him, right, so to speak. But if I prepare beforehand and I see I hit a trap, right, he will walk into my trap hole. Then I get him, right. That's like a massive. So like the real future sight, or we can like see in the future, right, that you can kind of. This is gonna happen tomorrow, right? This thing is gonna happen in 1 hour from now. That can be very useful. But this whole like, I can predict your abilities next to me, like, that has its limit. Like we see here, it's pretty much useless if you actually fight someone and when it's faster than you. But anyway, and of course, Orc Lord was badass. Kind of gets the on it. Yeah, that was beautiful. And I really felt that too when he. As he said there, he's like, I can heal faster now. And he's like, that's what's going to help you very much. I just love that line where he's like, I can heal faster. And I'm like, man, it's going to be painful, man. Yeah, it's like, you can heal faster? I don't really see how it's going to help you. He's going to keep punching you. And you're going to just heal and be like, oh, no, stop punching me, right? I liked it. They both kind of had these powers. And they kind of ended with, this power aren't that good to have in this fight because I'm not strong enough to have them, right? So it's like, it's harder to defeat you, so I have to punch you harder. Yeah, great. You take 10 punches or 5 punches. Yeah, great. But that was a good fight, and of course showing what a bastard he was as a character. Yeah, go for that girl there. She didn't get a fight even. She just got here and got her powers. But that being said, F-Zero the old man, it's interesting how. He did mention it, but I wondered if every isekai character can do that then in this anime. Can they all just be like without having gluttony or whatever, or because they all have kind of eating powers. But even if they don't have that, can anyone just be like, I defeated an isekai character? Can they observe? It's kind of like a highlander thing. It's kind of a highlander, right? It's like if you defeat the other character with the same isekai, you get the powers, right? So it's like a highlander thing. Yeah, it seems to basically be that anyone can just kill the isekai character and get the powers. At least if they also are themselves isekai characters. There seems to be like a thing here, so I guess anyone can like collect those powers if they also have the same power. Very, very Highlander-ish, right? Where it's like, if I defeat the other guy, I get the power. So that seems to be a thing, and I'm just thinking, like with the old man, then that it could be someone else, right? Not just him, but someone else that has a lot of powers, right? If they have like, I've collected, it could be like him, but And one else could be like, I have 50 powers, but I killed 50 isekai characters. I killed all of them, right? I've been doing Highlander for years, you know. Right? The old man looks to be that kind of character, though. But I mean, some might have ridiculously many powers, right, if they've been alive for hundreds of years in this world. But it might be like him, right? But then I think he would probably be stronger. But you know what I mean? Like, even stronger than him. Like, one of the demon lords might be like, oh, I have 1,000 powers, right? I've been collecting everyone's powers that have been reviving here, right? But that might be a thing though, like because it seems to be that there's a lot of characters are getting actually isekai to this world, and then of course if you defeat them, at least if you already you get the powers, and then you get more powers, right? So I could easily see someone be like 1,000 years old and have collected like 1,000 powers. Right? They're like, oh, I'm just eating everyone's powers. That could be like the true demon lord of one of the other, you know, massive power demon lords. Perhaps the old man is like that. Perhaps the old man has like a billion powers. But I feel that if he has a billion powers, he probably should be stronger than Rimuru, and Rimuru should actually lose them, right? And that's why I think that won't happen. He might have like a few powers, right? But he probably won't have collected like, you know, 100 different powers. But then he should be the end game boss then, right? But I could see an end game boss be like him, yeah, having collected so many powers from everyone that has been isekai, right? From the previous, you know, different years and so on, and be like, oh, I have so many powers. Perhaps, right? Perhaps. But it definitely feels like a kind of a similar to, you know, Michael Eames and so on. I have all the quirks, you know. Yeah, but I think so, right? Because it seems to be pretty straightforward that it basically has the highlander thing. If you kill another character with your, you know, isekai, you get the powers, yeah. So you collect them. Anyway, that's my review. Maybe the old man is gonna be exactly like that. Maybe the old man is gonna easily beat Rimuru next episode. But I think that would be a weird turn to it, right? I think the old man is gonna be a lot stronger than he looks, then, I suppose. But actually still loses because Rimuru. So he probably has like a few powers, like 10 powers or whatever. Right? He might have like a few great powers, but he probably won't be like you know, super a lot. And for that matter, then, if Rimuru eats him, will he get like 10 more powers? Will he get the Berserker and the Survivor and so on? Perhaps, right? That could be a thing then. If he has like 10 powers, or he has at least 2 powers, but I mean, he might have more, right? And Rimuru eats him and he gets like all powers, perhaps. Yeah, and they make Rimuru even stronger. Yeah. But anyway, subscribe, because tomorrow I'm doing F0, being on Wednesday. Is it the final episode? It might be the final episode. Maybe quick click on that before we turn off here. Might be the final episode of F0. Jesus Christ, man. It might actually be the final episode. Okay, it's one more episode. Okay, it's one more episode next week. Okay, it's 2 episodes left. Okay. 7 seasons, of course. That I don't think it's ending. I think it's like one more season of that. That's like, yeah, there's a lot of episodes left. Holy shit, man. And B-Stars, though, it might. I'm like B-Star ending. I think it's like 1 more week, maybe 2 more episodes. B-Star is also, yeah, so okay, next week is the last episodes. But as a side note, I mean, that for me is always, this is like always interesting, right, when you watch animes as a reviewer and reactor, because you get into the last week or second to last week, and then the animes are starting to end, right? So you get the cliffhangers, you get the resolutions, you get the, for example, the one reg priorities ending up, you get like the twist, you get the understanding of what is the one reg, right? Is it near, you get the thing right, and at the same time, then the week afterwards, you get the new animes, right? So for me, it's always like this is the best part of doing the anime stuff, because you have the endings, the epilogues, that stuff, and then the next week you have the new animes. Because you have, you know, animes you've seen before, like Megiddo and so on, but you also have other animes. You're like, this is an interesting new anime. I want to know that about. You know, here's an anime about girls doing pottery. Could be interesting, right? So you kind of have that, the mixture of, yeah, the last week and the first week was the most big ones, right? You get off the ending and so on. For that matter, right, Slime, I think, has a part 2, right? So Slime is gonna be like, I think 2 or 1 more episode. Let's quick check. I had it in front of me anyway. Slime has 2 more episodes, and then it's 3 months break, I think. Yeah, 1 month break. So see you guys and have a great day.